Jason Statham was never the kind of celebrity who needed to be noticed. Off-screen, he kept a low profile, no flashy entourage, no exaggerated security. That morning in downtown Los Angeles, he was dressed like any ordinary man, plain hoodie, jeans, a baseball cap pulled low. Most people didn't even realize who had just walked out of the cafe and onto the busy sidewalk. He was carrying a black coffee and checking messages on his phone when he saw him. The man sat slouched against the concrete wall, tucked beside an overflowing trash bin. His gray beard was matted, his fingers wrapped tightly around a worn, handwritten cardboard sign that read, "I'm not asking for money. Just food and 5 minutes of your time." Jason slowed. Something about that message hit differently. He stopped a few steps away and glanced around. Dozens of pedestrians walked by, some pretending not to see, others wrinkling their noses or crossing to the other side. Not one person had stopped. Jason hesitated, then walked over. "Hey mate," he said, kneeling down. "Mind if I sit with you?" The old man looked up slowly. His eyes, pale and sunken, blinked as if trying to focus. "Suit yourself," he said, his voice a rasp from years of cigarettes and silence. Jason sat on the curb. For a full minute, neither of them said a word. Then the old man chuckled softly. "You don't look like most people who stop here." Jason smiled. "Not many do." "I'm Thomas," the man offered. "Been sitting here for weeks. You're the first who's asked my name." They talked for a while, about nothing at first. Then Thomas opened up. He was once a high school teacher. English lit. Had a family, a house, a dog named Rufus. Life fell apart after his wife died. He spiraled into drinking, lost his job, then the house. His son stopped answering calls. That was nearly 10 years ago. Jason listened without interrupting. A few people started noticing, passing cars slowed down, phones subtly lifted. Still, he didn't care. He wasn't here to perform. He was here because something in Thomas reminded him of his own father, quiet, proud, never one to ask for help until it was too late. At one point, Thomas looked down and said, "I'm not trying to get sympathy. I just miss being seen." Jason looked at him and said, "You're not invisible, mate. Not today." Without warning, he stood up, walked into the cafe, and returned with 2 fresh sandwiches, a bottle of water, and another coffee. He handed one to Thomas and sat back down. By now, people had gathered. A man with a Bluetooth headset paused his jog. A woman across the street wiped a tear. Someone whispered, "Is that Jason Statham?" A young guy in a suit stepped forward, holding his phone up, ready to take a video. Jason looked directly at him and said, "Put that down. This isn't for clicks." The man nodded sheepishly and lowered the phone. Then Jason did something that truly stunned everyone. He reached into his jacket and pulled out a folded piece of paper. "I've got a friend who runs a rehab and housing program just outside the city. They take veterans, teachers, anyone trying to rebuild. No cameras, no judgment. You want in?" Thomas blinked, overwhelmed. "You're serious?" "Dead serious. I'll cover the first 6 months. You show up, stay clean, try to reconnect with your son, if not for you, for him." People watched as Thomas's lips trembled. He tried to speak but couldn't. He just nodded, wiping tears with the back of a trembling hand. Jason stood, gave him a strong handshake, and said, "I'll make the call. Be ready by 9 tomorrow. I'll send someone for you." The crowd, stunned into silence, finally started clapping, slow at first, then building. Jason didn't stay for the praise. He waved briefly, then disappeared into the street like any other passerby. The next day, a black SUV pulled up beside the same sidewalk. A man in a suit stepped out and called, "Thomas?" The old man stood, cleaner than before, holding a small duffel bag someone had donated that morning. He climbed in without a word. Months later, a quiet post appeared online, no hashtags, no viral caption. Just a picture of an older man in a modest apartment, holding a coffee mug with the words, "Still standing." On the wall behind him was a framed letter, signed by Jason Statham. "Proud of you. Keep going. Jay." It never made the headlines. It didn't need to. Because sometimes the most powerful acts of kindness don't go viral. They go silent, and still change everything.